Yes, people, greetings. You don't know it's another edition of Reason We Are Reason. My special guest today is no other than Myhrakle, an artist who they them hear me a feature upon WKCR all the while. He's been up there and interviewed him a few times. And he also have a tune where you hear me a play a lot. Lead the way with Akibeka. So today, we have the great honor to sit down and reason with the brethren and make we get to learn more about the brethren today, you see me? So, greetings, Jamaica. What my brother?
Yes, yes, give thanks.
Yes, I.
Honorable, you know, pleased to be welcome, first of all, in this, what you call it, Union Media
TV.
TV.
Yes, I.
Yeah, in this place at this time, you
Awesome.
know, in this state of being solid.
Sure.
Yeah, I give thanks and praise. Um, as many may know or may have heard at least the word, you know, from the one who propels the word as well, Vaughn himself through his other mediums and so forth, you know, I want to, openly show gratitude and appreciate love or appreciation, as you all may know it as, for that and for the opportunity for the word to reach the people, which is most important. And I like to highlight all the time it's not about Jah miracle, it's about the word and the message and the works done. Give
Upful.
thanks.
Upful. Upful, my brother. I love that. So, Jamaica, tell me a little bit about the eye, where you're from and your background, and we can reason up further on about the music part.
True. Yeah, ones may know, ones may not know. Um, Coming out of the country of Belize by way of my mother womb, I like to say that many ones ask where I'm from and where I was born. That's the birthplace,
Awesome.
umbilical cord.
First,
So
birthday.
yeah, man. So that's the nationality. Kush, Ethiopia, Abyssinia,
Upful.
the womb.
Upful.
Yeah, so Belize geographically located in Central America near Guatemala and Mexico, Honduras and all these places nearby. So we're coming out of Belize City per se as well, to be precise, because Belize is the entire country. You have Belize City as well. So I'm out of the city, born there and raised there, as some may say. Blessed.
Okay. So there I forward all the way from Belize City. So give me an idea how the I get into reggae music because I never really aware that people listen to reggae music in Belize.
Yeah, well, reggae music is an international language. It's a one language that unites many. So the music transcend many barriers, many borders. So Belize is highly influenced by reggae music, and I would say at least 70% of what is produced in Belize today is influenced by reggae, either culture music or dancehall. So reggae music have transcended many barriers, like I said, and Belize is one of those countries where you have the seeds being sprouted from the influence. So yeah, it's a vital, chain link for the people also to gravitate to Rastafari liberty.
Up for it. Up for it. Yes, sir, brother. Well, we definitely want to get in depth with the eye because personally, the eye have a different style from a majority of the artists them with me here personally. So over 20 years I play music, and I deal with the music, and I defend the message side of the music because there's so many barriers to the thing, but me choose the message side of the music, and the eye delivery is very different from what me hear throughout the years.
True.
This is something special in the eye still.
True.
So how the eye develop into the artist for the eye develop into?
Yeah, I would say, and I always like to say, certain things is an invert thing, and as we grow through time and as we experience, as I sing a song called Experience Tells the Story, you know what I mean? Experience speaks at their school, you know. So, you know, through time, you know, we have assembled the talent, the skill, and the ability to write as a student from primary school going through high school, you know, colleges, and also the university, I believe, which I graduated from. You know, we accumulated what you would call that literacy, you know, that knowledge of how to put together, you know, or assemble thoughts as well through time. So using the knowledge of the literature and embedding that also with the history and what is the reality and what is the given. As I say also in a word sound of mine on the new press kit release, I said, you know, to connect with the people is to relate to the people in the now and this time of what's going on, the experiences. So we tend to use all these things, and by doing so, we also have to listen to others. And over the time, we realize, or as an artist, or as a writer, as a musician, vocalist, producer, we realize a lot of the messages that we're hearing is merely the same thing over and over in different forms. So there's a need for more. And by knowing there's a need for more, we apply the intellect to deliver what is needed. So we bring it in whatever manner the item receive it. One of my brethren recently told me I'm a very technical artist. I said to him, I'm not technical. I'm being as simple as I can be. There's a lot to say, and there's a lot that has not been said. So we have to find the way, the chemistry, the way to weave and knit it together in order to deliver more than what has been said in the past and what is going on now.
Okay. Well explained, brother. Well explained.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get down to the music side of things now. I've just recently become acquainted with the eye, right? So I don't know about the eye recording history as much as I supposed to know, you know? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It just to choose a better way to put
True.
it, you know. I don't really know the eye tune them the way I supposed to know, you know, but I know the eye now, I mean I learn the eye more and more. So what was basically one of the first recordings the eye did?
Um, yeah. One of my first, before recording, because everything is recorded even before it is in the box or in the computer or what. The recording goes in the DNA, you know, in the helix spiral. It starts in the mind, and the recording, my primary recording, I would say, is a song that I wrote when I decided to say, I mean, there's a gift, like I said, from birth.
Yeah.
And there's a DNA pulse that is recording from that time.
Yeah.
But when I literally came to the point or the interest of putting my pen to the paper, was a moment sitting down with my brother, Isachar, still here in spiritual.
Yes, I.
In no other manner is gone.
True.
So, you know, sit down and write a song called, you know, In the Ghetto from When. And this music or this piece of message was coming based upon our experiences in the ghetto, in our sufferation, and you know the different turmoils that we experienced in those days. And I can say, trying to recall exact date and time, that's probably in 2005. And then I proceeded to the studio to do a vocal recording, which was not that song, which was called Hammer Them Down.
Okay.
You know, so many ones may know me from that part in those days with a song called Hammer Them Down.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Because I mentioned Ras Isacha a while ago. He actually mentioned the eye to me years ago before in transition, you know? He mentioned the eye to me, and I never really get to follow it up because you see through more time we out in the Gideon and we run into each other at the parties,
True.
you know. So, but outside of that now, DI is doing some very serious recording right now. You know, you produce yourself,
True.
right? They have their own recording studio at home where you get all of your work done. And the way I clearly can see it by checking the eye in at the base, it look like the eye record most of your tune them yourself.
True.
All right, so give me an idea what brought you to say, look, I want to have a studio, I want to record myself, and I want to make sure some thing set a certain way. What brought you to that? Because plenty of artists don't do that.
True. Yeah, that's a good question still on the table. And again, this is where I said Char name comes up. Prior to me assembling the necessities to, erecting a studio called Golden Arc Records, which I am the CEO of, there was an inspiration by Isa Char prior years to that when we were in another side of Brooklyn called Bushwick.
Okay.
He was highly inspired to, put together his own work. And he maintained that focus of, trying to do his own things because he had have enough, ups and downs with engineers, producers, studio, and back and forth, not getting his things after putting in time, not getting the stuff back to himself and all these things. So he was inspired to put up his own studio. I put out my arms as well as a brother, and we strengthened each other and assembled that studio. He propelled his works. So, after which you call it a transition, after that, removal of the spiritual, I mean the physical, you know, from this environment, I was again inspired by Isachar doings to say, it's time to focus more on this work, put in more effort into this work, economic support to the work, put together your own thing and go hard with it because it has to make sense and you have to count now because a brother is not in this environment no more.
Awesome.
So we have to make it, have some type of substance. So yeah, that's where it, started.
Yes, sir, brother. Mighty full words, mighty full. All right. They have a tune right now where me I get a lot of requests for. It's actually so overwhelming that sometimes I don't even plan to play this song this morning. I plan to play something different from the eye, but as we play the different tune of the eye, people are calling me, yo, why you really doing it? So give me an idea how that tune came to, how you get to record it and what was the vibes and everything, because you even feature the late great Aki Becker,
True.
otherwise known as Vaughn Benjamin from Midnight, so
True.
big tune. So tell me a little bit about everything coming to play of that tune there.
Yeah. Yeah, if we pinpoint the origination of that tune and how it all assembled, I would have said it's a word went out. A brother of mine called Kujan there, had just finished collaboration with him. And he told me how he ended up linking with the Warrior and got his works done. And at the same time, I Grade Records was around, and I heard of the openness of Van Benjamin to do collaboration. Nevertheless, I, instead of taking that route, with all the promotion or the media that was saying, link up here and there, I found another route through another brother of mine to link up with him because, we had relations with Vaughn in many other occurrences, reasonings, sit down and reasonings and, inherited a lot of knowledge. And there was a vibe and a frequency already established. So when I did finally reach out to that medium, it was already locked in for us to do the work. And I had the track at the same time, like, the most I work so mysteriously, in many instances, experienced it so many times, numerous of times that, you just gotta smile with the current sometimes. I had just finished putting together that track, Lead the Way, without no intention of really featuring him. And the open frequency was there, and I sent the track to him, and immediately he felt the track. He responded fast. He did his work, put it in, and he actually the verse that was there for him had 12 bars. It was a 12 bar structure. But to show that the necessity for word and the message is vital and cannot just be bottled in a little segment of a track. What his message was to propel on the rhythm, he needed 16 bars. So we had to actually stretch the rhythm to suit him there. So if you notice, the first verse was, you know what I mean, 12 bars. The second verse, which is his verse, is 16 bars. The third verse is 12 bars. But it just show you said that the current intermeshed, it locked, you know what I mean, and the frequency was perfect. You know, I was just in the meds. If there's anyone who, to speak a little more about the track, if there's anyone who intertwines their conception of the Bible with full understanding, you know, I mean, you will see a lot of revelation playing out. And at that same time, when I delivered that track, I was reading from the Bible and a message. You know, I'm not a person that plagiarizes from anything. I take the message and I hold the message, and if it is supposed to be propelled in so many in a similar stream as it is propelled, as it is received by myself, it may come out that way. But I propel the message, it interlock with the warrior on the rhythm. You know, give thanks for the lion too from out of Portugal, because that's his rhythm. We can't forget to include the producer. You know, the fullness of the track. You know what I mean? Tippy, I grade for mastering, mixing the track and all that. I grade records. Yeah, give thanks.
Yes, brother. Yeah, like big up TPI. Cause when they actually brought the track to me, you gave me the dub version first.
True.
You know, so after hearing the dub version for a few times, I say, yeah, you see when that tune you actually drop, it got tough. And me and Father German, you know, rest in power, same speed. Father German and me had the same reaction to the tune, so I was like, yeah, this tune gonna be tough tune. But otherwise, from that, they have a new tune also with Bigger Haitian.
True.
So tell I and I how that forwarding and how the item put together that time, the fullness.
Again, this is the revelation at hand again, you know, the current. And so I said the Almighty God worked mysteriously. You know what I mean? And there was a frequency going on in my irids when I was recording this track. There was no intention to have no feature on it. And while recording the song, a current fly up in my irids and said, Bigger Haitian. And I realized the power of the mind. For I have experienced quite a few similar instances whereas I project my mind or a thought to a one, and before you know it, they pop up, they call or so. So while recording the track, so mystical sometimes, I wish someone could be there to experience the moment. You know, I actually reflect on the warrior going into the second verse. Because I'm a person, like you said, record myself, so it's in and out the boot, you know, structure things, right? Put it together and go to the next. So going to the second verse, the warrior fly through my mind. Less than a minute later, Bigger Haitian calling me. Bigger Haitian called me saying, yo, fireman, beloved, and the only way I got to answer that call, because when I'm recording, I would stop to answer a call. But because, like I said, I was about to go in the second verse, and you know, being in front of the computer, seeing the phone, and the man called, I responded. And just because I thought that man, I've thought of him, he called. And he said to I, yo, fireman, I love the track with you and Akibeka. It's a big track. I love the and whatever, you know. It's more about the word more than anything. But that just hit me at the moment to say, yo, fireman, I got a track for the eye too, you know. I want to do a one with the eye, come here and meditate for the eye for a minute, So, you know, make sure the man said, me about to seal up the third verse. Me I left the blank space. We had a little reason. Me tell you, I left the blank space for the second verse, and And then me I said forward the track and so said so done and the man full up, you know. The man said, you know, he had to go and, you know, put in a good work on the track and like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I said it's a very powerful track and that's the outcome.
All right. I want to show the higher vibes, my brother. You see, when you send the track to Bigger, I actually went to go check Bigger around at the same time. And Bigger, I play the iPod back and forth, back and forth. I would be walking, I be here, I say, who that, Jamaica? They say, yeah, it's a fireman, the man deep. Yeah,
Yes.
so but the kind of sister that tune you are mindful because me hear Bigger spit couple line, you know, in verse to me if you give me
True.
an idea how I'm gonna approach it and me say fire, it fit.
True.
Keep it on a same height, stay fit.
True.
So that tune there, you can see why it sounds so good because the energy was right,
Yeah, man.
you know, the moment and the
Exactly.
vibes was there. So
True.
it have to deliver and it's
Yeah.
bigger than we when you see
Yes,
everything
sir.
that play out that way there.
Yeah,
Way bigger
man.
than we.
This is the point.
Yeah. So right now, my brother, I have a new album out right now,
True.
right? So we can reason about that, and then you know you can definitely give a overs of some of the other project that we have
True,
same
true,
way.
true.
But you have a new album out, tell them the title
True.
and where them can find it and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, give thanks again for the acknowledgement. Yeah, just to make a slight little correction, and it's because of the, you know, consistent works going on and the consistent, you know,
Mm-hmm.
deliveries going on. There is actually two albums out right now.
Okay.
So there's an album out primarily came out on His Majesty Earth Strong,
Mm-hmm.
which is 1884. You know, Hamlet,
Mm-hmm.
which is 23rd July.
Yeah.
You know, this track, I should say 16 Hamlet, 1884, Vaughn, Crown, King. 16 Hamlet, that's the Ethiopian,
Mm-hmm.
right? 23rd July, just to make a slight correction.
Yeah.
Yeah, going forward to the 23rd of July, we released the track called Ixyabir, which is actually a collaboration between Golden Art, Myhrakle, Dials, Visceral View from New Mexico. So there's an album out there called Ixyabir, Give Thanks and Praise unto the Most High, Haile Selassie the First. And there's another album that we just released also on the Ethiopian New Year, trying to keep the Ethiopian history relevant as well. So you can find an album called All For You out there currently as well. And these two projects, I must say, you know, are some of my, you know, more intense deliveries, you know, meditation, and, you know, you all may be able to tell me more of it than I should tell you on this medium right now. But there's two albums out there, and I would like for everyone who are getting any type of, you know, feed on to this media or this what we call it here, Union Media TV.
Yes, I.
Please go look for it. Myhrakle albums are out there. JAHMYHRAKLE. Yeah, go get them. Ixyabir and All For You. And we have a few more coming, but we shall talk about that too.
Yeah. Yes, I. Hopeful, hopeful. Love hear that. Love hear that, my brother. So, they have an album that released on His Majesty Earth Strong, and you
Yes.
also have an album that released First Light,
True.
which was
Oh,
9/11,
oh,
right?
yes, I.
Yeah.
All for you.
All for you.
Yeah.
All right, cool, cool, cool. All right, so give me an idea of some of the future works that you have in plan or you have in mind to execute, and also before we do that, matter of fact, I want you to give me an idea of some of the places that I've been and performed.
True.
You know, different places. Show I where they are forward to.
True. Yeah. In the current time and the tempo of our motions are going, we stay currently mostly in the United States of America. Um, did quite a few shows in Chicago, quite a few shows in California, New Jersey,
Hmm.
small appearances, Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
Um, we're supposed to be in Florida coming up in on the 11th sometime in the 11th month, which is November. So a few shows in those states and some other shows right here in New York. So for those who already know me from Brooklyn, a lot of local shows we have done in New York over the last 3 4 years. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
enough works. And besides just the shows, because I always try to emphasize to the people that it's more about the word more than the appearance of faces.
True.
So, we try to put out a lot of music. So if it replaces doing a lot of shows, there's still a message there for you to resonate on. As you see, Corona season came around the other day, or the virus came around, and yeah, there was a lockdown, and a lot of shows couldn't happen. So, but the message was still there for the artists, them who kept putting out messages. There was a message there for the people to feed on, and music is a thing for life. So yeah, we do works, and we have some videos as well that we've been traveling recently, and in the near future as well, which is maybe a couple weeks from now, we should be in California to shoot another video coming up called Grace and Mercy. Been in Albuquerque a month and a half ago. Move around for the purpose of the work, but not for the purpose of showing face, but to deliver the message. And if it needs motion behind it, we do the work for that purpose to connect with the people. So please take heed unto the word, most essentially.
Yes, my brother. So true. Because I always tell people, listen to the message and watch the messenger.
True.
Yeah, because the messenger is just flesh.
Yes, sir.
But the word, I go overdo everything we are dealing with.
Exactly.
Yes, I. Yes, I. So, Miracle, let me ask a question. It's a question I ask every artist. What is one of the collaborations that you would have loved, though? Like, I don't even if it could be a rock and roll artist, it could be an R&B artist. What is one of the top combos you would like to do as an artist yourself?
Well, I never really had thought about this. And if you ask me any at all, if there was a choice to say so, it probably done happen already.
Okay.
And that is
Yeah.
with Quebecer,
Yes, I.
you know.
Yes, I.
But to say that there's no comparisons in talent, and to say that the union of messengers together and in a collaborative manner to bring out His Majesty word or to propel the word. Yes, I'm still enlightened and interested also to work with others. For
Yeah.
there's no comparisons in talent. I work with every and all.
True.
So if I should state one, I may have to state a many. And
Okay.
it would have probably be a whole heap. But it's not like I'm eager to do anything with someone.
Yeah.
I'm pleased and willing to do if
Yeah.
they are also pleased and willing to do. I do not intend to spend money on. I mean, we have to realize where we at with this thing right now. And I know one of the means of continuously doing the work, finances is required.
Naturally.
But when we realize as artists to artists sometime, there is a potential for a greater work to be done beyond the finances. Because that piece of finance for that work will only last so long. That's a given fact. It might be tomorrow someone take that money and spend it out.
Yeah.
Some squander their money, some waste their money, but they're just getting it because the music fuel that and feed that.
Yeah.
I do not use the music with the interest for finances. Yes, we know we need to maintain the taxes. We know these things are there, mandatory by some of these people who are called corporate giants. So we have to maintain some of these things. But when we have the potential for artists to come together and work together, we must be open.
Naturally.
I just recently do a work with a brother from Russia, and the man asked me if he could do a collab with me, and likewise as business mind as well. I said I don't mind doing a collab, but at least you got to cover for the studio time. I mean, yes, it's my own studio, but current is things
It's
are
not
going
free,
on.
brother.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
like for pay and
but the
yeah.
brother showed me said that listen, brother, this is my situation. I'm suffering. We not really have nothing much. We in Russia, the economic is so bad. Rare. And not to say I had to look into it. His word was good enough. You can know truth through the vibration of pulses when you're
Mm-hmm.
reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell him, man, don't worry about it. I will do the work, and do what needs to be done. He also want a video clip for it too, and that will take money as well. But I don't mind taking the funds out of my pocket from my labor, in order to fuel that, such that that could reach a mass
Exactly.
of people and minds.
Exactly.
So artists need to know that, or musicians, vocalists, even the producers, they need to be more open where the potential is greater for the word to go further, and stop making these little minuscules of life, such as money and these little things here, stop the whole fuel of
For
things.
sure, my brother.
Yeah,
For sure. Yes, Jamaica. Mighty full reasoning, my brother.
yeah.
Love that. Love that. Love that. Well, all right. Let me see now. Let me get to that some real different reason with the eye now. There is a Rasta man, right?
True.
Yeah, and really would I like know how the I feel about the state of Rastafari in this time that we're living in right now, because things have really changed. You know, the Rasta liberty, as far as we seen it or grew up seeing the elders, it's changed. It's changed. You understand? To me personally, I feel most of I and I in this time, yeah, kind of a little bit more knowledgeable of things that the elders them didn't really get the opportunity to really know about. Not saying we know more, but
True.
there is certain information that is laid out there right now for I and I to absorb that wasn't there.
True.
And if you even got to absorb that them information back then, you really have to search hard for it.
True.
So, what is the view on the state of Rastafari now as a Rasta man in this time? Yeah?
True. Yeah. Well, when we say Rastafari, and we're talking about, we have to go to the root of all the things and before we propel forward.
Okay.
We say Rastafari means head, head
Mm-hmm.
and root.
Go, sir.
So it's the entire, the fullness.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Now, as we realize and as we have been able to experience, through time, everything shifts and changes constant.
True.
Information at its vast stage today is not what it was one time ago.
True.
There's a swing and a balance to everything, there's a pendulum that is always there in the balance.
Mm-hmm.
So if you realize everything today now, Rasta dress code does not align with the same dress code
That
as was.
we learned, yeah.
Rasta way of even eating may be somewhat consistently similar, but it's not the same way,
True.
based upon overproliferation and what we call industrious countries, industrialized cities. You know, we are now at the age now where we get gadget tablets. They're giving everything. So intelligence is not there no more. It's smartphone, it's smart device, it's smart this. So there's an accessibility through the web and the media and these different things to get more information. However, even though there's more information there, how much of the information that is being received or can be obtained or cited is being active, you know? So today you have ones that might have access to more, but yet still is not producing and is not living up to the code and the standards. And it's still saying Rastafari.
True.
But now you look at the ancients, they was not so vast in access to information, but they kept up the principles, the rudiments, and these are the things. So we'll say the ancient will always last longer. So we, even in this time now of advancement, have to take heed, and as I made a quote in the last press kit write up for Ixabir, we have to keep a hold of the rudiments of ancients, the principles, the ways, the laws. We cannot lose these things because, as it is right now today, the system has set up a structure whereas there's only so much you can say or do to your child, which means there's disaster at the end of that road. If your child can actually call the police on you as the parent of that home, they're inviting them to become their parent instead of you being the parent.
True, brother. True.
So these things are affecting us from all different angles. The advancement, the time, the laws change, these things, the amendments. You know what I mean? Some way down the line we have to see what part Rastafari and Rastafari movement means much more than just what people consider it to be today. Sometimes we look at ones who are in positions and say they're for the destruction of us, but we're not truly reading between the lines to know that they're actually working for the Almighty God, Rastafari, and was instructed to work for in this time. Some of the things we didn't experience in certain times, you know. Amongst our own self, we had ones who went against, you see, and the ones them, some of them what seems to be against is actually working for the movement of the liberation of the people, as Ezra, as Esther, as Ruth, and you know, these books in the Bible establish Ixabir law, liberty, the land. So Rasta today need to take heed unto more of the substance of all as it is relative to the advanced info. Don't let the information warp you. The data and all these things, this what we call quantum mechanics, quantum physics, quantum leapfrogs leaping in the air all over our head. Spider-Man, spiderweb catching. They are not seeking what needs to be known. We're not establishing that, and that again reflects also in the music delivery. You know, we're not connecting the dots. That's basically what's going on. So Rastafari is the root and the head. So it's all the same spin, but we have to know if we connect and hold on to the rudiments, hold on to the principles of old. You know, he who loseth his ancients loseth his future.
Sure, sure. Yeah. Yes, sir, brother. Well explained. Well explained, brother. Well explained. Well, Jamaica is a joy for reason with the eye today, my brother.
True.
Really and truly, because I get from overs with the eye forward from more, you know, reason with the eye, we get for see where the eye are, the mentally, and you know, and it's a joy, my brother. And all I can tell you is you know, I'm looking for more great works out of the eye, because you have a unique style, and like, just keep the works forward in it, man, because your style and your delivery, the youth them are going to listen to you.
True.
You know, so just keep it up full the same way and got you. And,
True.
you know.
Thank you.
Yes, I. So anybody you want to heal up or you want to send out any greetings to or so forth before we chip out?
True. Yeah, I do give thanks. Give thanks to the Most High, God Jah Rastafari Ixabir, for life, for the establishment of the DNA, the helix spiral. Yeah. It's bloodline, you know? And you know there's a vibration in the blood, you know, and there's a what you call a signal and a receptor. We have to learn to align that and you know maintain works. So I give thanks and praise unto the Most High for giving me the ability, primarily, to give me the ability to continuously work. Good health, good state of mind, meditation, despite the chaos that is going all around, and despite the many things that can affect us. Primarily give thanks to him. Give thanks also while we're currently in the music field to the producers who I'm working with, who have just put out the last two albums, Heights and Song, All For You album, Dials, Colin Dials, Heights and Songs from Washington State, Colin Dials from Albuquerque, New Mexico, just put out the album called Ixabir. Another album coming in near future, supposed to be in December, called From Dove Music with Wadada out of Chicago, called Him. And you know, all the other producers, Fifth Son, yeah, we have another album called Wishing Well coming out of Albuquerque, New Mexico again. So we have 9 albums in you know futuristic views to come out. I want to give thanks to all these warriors, all these producers. Elaborate thanks also to the warriors them who produce the artwork for the works. You know what I mean?
True.
Y'all do a great work. Tico
True.
Petros,
True.
also Ras Elijah out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, and all the other warriors them who do the works for the videos as well. Give thanks as well. Jafaya, give thanks for Ill Kings out of California, and all the other you know strength where we get. Give thanks for Isle Culture. You know we have another triple video coming out with Isaac Fate, Tico Petros, and Isle Culture.
Mighty
You know,
fool.
so
Yeah.
give thanks for all the warriors them in the music field, primarily knowing we're here on this topic. I also want to give thanks again now for mom, dad, you know, mother and father. Let's put it in the right structure. For my family, children, 9 of which I have, you know, all the brothers them around who come forth reasoning, bring forth strength, you know, strength in union. You know, where two and three is gathered, you don't know the Almighty God is in it.
Present.
So we also give thanks again. I give thanks for Union Media TV for the invite to be here to deliver a little spectrum through my spectacles.
Go so.
Bless the Lord. Give thanks again. All ones out there as well, the listeners, the followers, I cannot forget you. The ones who support highly from a distance without me even knowing, because it's not about me. Like I say, it's not about I. Let's put it in the right perspective. It's about the word. Give thanks for your support, for your strength. Continue to do so. Continue to inherit the message, please. It also gives us a drive at Golden Ark to want to bring more and feed you with more. Give thanks.
Yes, my brother. Love how the I humbly explain that, cause I always say to people, don't pay attention to the messenger. You know.
True.
Don't business with him. Listen to the message, cause at the end of the day, that is the whole order of the day, the message.
Most important.
All right, my brother. Before we move out, I just want to beg the I one thing, brother. Give me a acapella of Lead the Way. Yeah. For all of the eyes about there who subscribe to me, Union Media TV, I check out Reason Where Reason more and here with me.
Yeah, yeah, give thanks again. Give thanks and praise unto the Most High Emperor Haile Selassie I Kadamawi. Sun, moon, and stars. Give the king your judgment, O God, your Rastafari, your righteousness unto the king's son. For he will judge the people with righteousness and bring justice and equality unto the poor. The mountain shall bring ease unto the masses, and the little one shall see his righteousness. Those in the wilderness shall bow before him, and his enemies shall lick the dust. Written in our revelation, sees the King of Kings, Emperor Haile Selassie I Kedamawi. Solomon and Daniel also in the book of Kings, is the Lion of Judah that never fail. Blasphemers who speak against him in eloquent ignorance shall fall alone away. Sun, moon, and stars, may the union media lead the way. Oh, full and bright. Give thanks and praise. Haile Selassie the first. Yeah, man. Union Media TV. Yeah, man. Up full and bright. Give thanks. Stay in tune. Stay connected. This is Myhrakle of full and bright.
Yes, my brother. Bless up yourself. Bless up to everybody right now. I check out this reason that I'm having with Miracle today. Do you remember, like and subscribe, Union Media TV. Big up to Apache Sound Movement. Large up Father Fingers. Big up to my brethren Kete, who behind the scenes, I take care of everything. You don't know, Mightyful, brother. Yeah, and look out for more reasons in for whole heap of other artists same speed. So Jamaica, bless up my brother.
Yes,
More
big
life,
thanks. Blessed
prosperity,
for
high
us.
tech, see?
Hallelujah.